Hey man, say man, I'm back at it with some more of it, man. Hold on. Let me pause that. Yeah, I'm back. I had to, technical difficulties, but check this out. Uh, we're gonna just have Tom Brady explain the mediocrity in the NFL. I tried uploading this, but um, I'm not going to get any more copyright strikes from Stephen A. Smith show. But Tom, what's going on with the mediocrity in the NFL, brother?
As good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. I don't think the schemes are as good as they were. I think the rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I think guys are competitive. Guys play hard. I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way. And every hit they would have made would have been a penalty, and your coach is complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself, how to get rid of the ball, how to throw it, how to run out of bounds, how to get down, how to lower your pad level. We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. I think the offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to the defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. He shouldn't ask the offensive player to protect him. And I think a lot of the way that the rules have come into play have allowed this. You can essentially play carefree, and then if anyone hits you hard, there's a penalty. And it's very different than how I played. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Wow. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to lose a good player. So guys like that, the only way to beat skill was physicality. And that was a physical sport. You don't get to a boxing match and say, I want to beat you, but I don't really want to hit you that hard. It's up to you. Now, the refs there just make sure nothing is done unfairly or, hit below the belt. There's a few rules. I believe that if players have an opportunity to protect themselves, they need to protect themselves.
Am I off kilter when I said this? Because I've said this publicly. I certainly would never advocate that Bill Belichick be gone. He's the greatest coach, arguably the greatest coach to have ever lived.
Might starting to be a Belichick, but check this out. Tom Brady said that, and it sounds real good. But let's peel back the layers. Now, as we go forward and with the NFL, in 2020, during the pandemic, the veil was uncovered that it is a business. It's a business. Global pandemic, but we're talking about, which is kind of crazy to me, these people getting tackled and getting hurt. And, you worried about COVID. But at the end of the day, you getting tackled. You all in everybody's faces and everything. Yeah, the world shut down, but not the NFL. Why? Because it is a business. The bottom line means more than everybody's personal feelings. Let's get that out the way. Excuse me. And also, first things first, where he talked about Ray Lewis and Marvin Harrison, Brian Dawkins, Charles Woodson. You could throw in James Harrison, Vontaze Burke. Well, they got Vontaze Burke up out of there, but James Harrison. Those guys in today's game will be considered dirty players, and I would consider them a dirty player. Now, what they didn't mention was the over $1 billion with the B dollar settlement that the NFL reached for concussions. And so now that it's been a business, but now it's just front and center as a business. So the move concussion did a lot to open hours about any young players, any Pee Wee players, high school players, college players, and pro players to go look at that movie. Um, the movie starts off with Mike Webster. Mike Webster was the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Hall of Famer. Was a part of 4 championship Super Bowl winning championship teams, and he died homeless, living out of his truck. Died homeless. Okay. Will Smith's character found out that it was from brain injuries from the NFL, and he took his findings to the NFL, and they thought, he was lying and stuff like that, and whatever the case may be, and they wanted to deregulate the NFL, and people were calling Brendan Will Smith as a saying, hey, you're talking about our favorite son. You're talking, Mike Webster is Pittsburgh's favorite son. And his reply was, you say he was your favorite son, but yet he died homeless, living in a truck. So I said all that to say, the goal of any business is to keep on keeping on. Players should be making business decisions. Players like Brian Dawkins, Ray Lewis, James Harrison, they want to hurt good players. Them hurting good players hurts the bottom line. And who's to say those same players who hurt those, get those players brain injury, maybe spinal injury, or whatever the case may be, who's to say they won't come out in the future and say, you know what, I got a concussion, now they're in a settlement also. The goal has always been the bottom line. Guts, you can't spend guts and glory. You can't do it. So if the NFL is not wrong for catering to the paying public, Super Bowl between the Rams and Patriots, I'm a football aficionado, so it's all good with me. Oh, okay, he calling this. I see this. I see this. I see that blitz. Hell of a game. But to the paying public, won't worth a damn. And the NFL cannot make money from aficionados, from purists. So it's all about gate attraction. So 10-7 games or 13-7 games are not attractive. Now, older players may say, well, it's solved. It's a different game. Y'all ain't playing the leather helmets no more. Y'all ain't playing leather helmet. Y'all ain't playing with the super thin marked with face mask and nothing like that. What about the money? As the game grows, right? As the game goes, the money grows. You see? And so the reason why what Tom's saying is so backwards is because the NFL, well, he's not an NFL player anymore because he's not making NFL a dime. But it shows that in the contracts. It shows that, we're trying to sell superstars. Superstars sell jerseys. The quarterback jersey on each team is always one of the best sellers. Then a wide receiver. Then a running back. Unless you got an all-world D tackle or defensive lineman, offensive lineman. Yeah, they may or may not. Unless you got if you got a Pro Bowler linebacker, yeah, it may. He got to be the only good person on the team. So your star has to be the best person on. If your star is a quarterback, that's more marketable than a star defensive player. See, it's all about the numbers. It's all about that bread. And the NFL showed you that. That's the reason why you have $30 million quarterbacks, but they won't pay a running back $10 million. Why you don't have a $30 million middle linebacker? He calls the defense. He calls the audibles because it's not that marketable. You don't have a DB making $30 million, but you have Deshaun Watson making $60 million. And you'll be hard pressed to find any defensive player making 50 or 40. So, the game is to be sold. They're selling the game. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's the fact that the older the player, the more it was more about the love and the passion and the camaraderie and the things that money couldn't buy. The new generation, which are smarter and may have saw concussion or may have had a pro football player who they knew, all of a sudden now they're broke. Besides doing favors, we doing business. The NFL doing business. The fans don't come to see big hits. They come to see you tackle, but they don't pay their hard-earned money to see big hits. Well, you think people would come to pay to see the Kansas? Well, they may. Give me a dire one. Okay. You think fans gonna come to see a Chris Winkie / Trevor Siemian Super Bowl? Or they want to see Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, and or Dak Prescott Super Bowl? It's all about box office. It's all about selling tickets and these media deals. If the product is piss poor, then they want, you couldn't sell those TV rights because everybody would want them. But since it's such a marketable game, and professionals know it's all about the money, then why are today's athletes why are older players asking now athletes not to do business? Well, it's softened up. The coaching is bad. Well, you don't have coaching trees anymore. You don't have a Parcells who brings out a Belichick, who brings a Saban, who brings a Kirby Smart. You don't have the Bill Walshes who brings the Mike Holmgrens, the Denny Greens, the Mike Shanahan, the George Seiferts, the Dick Vermeils, which the Mike Holmgren brings Andy Reid. You don't have those. What you have are a bunch of because since Saban been in the league, there have been no any coaching trees. So how much time I got? 14 minutes. So all that goes into perspective. The bottom line is that the NFL is catering to the paying customer. Period. It's all about, it's all about the people who paid their money to see and what they willing to pay for. If you ain't paid no money, or if you criticize, it's like Larry Cable Guy says, told young comedians, don't worry about who don't like it. Getting people like you outside the arena You worry about entertaining those people who paid their money to come see you. And so, since the networks have paid their money and the money is just going up, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Players making way more money, now just gambling on top of the TV revenue. So, you know what I mean? We Tom, you know the answer to that. It was cool, you know what I mean, gave you something to talk about, but you know, don't blame the softness on well, the rules. The rules are there for a reason. The rules are there to protect the business. So yeah, you go out and you knock a play out, and he out for the rest of the season. Well, you just hurt the team's bottom line. Quarterback is basically the star of the team. Basically, he get paid like it. Well, guess what? You knocked them out. Well, it hurts the bottom line. So yeah, you should be punished. And so I do believe since the NFL have enacted that, the league's been far more profitable. Don't forget, it's a business now. Don't fool yourself. Just like the NBA. But I'm gonna get into that video later. But that's my spiel on it. You know what I mean? You can go to the comments, tell me what you think. You know, has it gotten softer? Yes, of course. Yes. But now with their softness, has it become more profitable? Now, if it's more profitable, well, it's just gonna be soft. It's gonna be on soft. Yeah, it's gonna be on soft. And all that money coming in, it's gonna be on soft. So, you know, old saying goes, hey man, we can talk and make plans, but it'll take money to buy land. Same goes true for the NFL. Thanks for y'all time. Talk to y'all later.